normal sized people. So suppose that this was normal size for a fat cell, and we wanted to star in the show My 600-Pound Life, and we ate food with no limit whatsoever for a long period of time. Our fat cells could go from something like that to something like that, dozens or hundreds of times their original size. Camels are the opposite. Camels walk around with their fat cells the big size, what we would call super morbidly obese, and they shrink all the way down to the size of a normal human fat cell as they dehydrate. The camel, as he dehydrates at 25% dehydrated, his metabolism shuts off. He's performing necessary to life and basic movement functions at that point. Walks but doesn't run, lives but doesn't grow. So the camel at 30% dehydrated, that is still normal and customary for a camel. At 35%, the camel's fat cells begin to lose elasticity. They may or may not recover from 35% dehydrated. 40% is a dead camel. Difference is that if we got severely dehydrated, we would be hospitalized for a period of time. When a camel is that severely dehydrated, all he needs is to drink water. So when he gets to the other side of the desert and he is going to drink literally 50 gallons of water for that, 30 gallons of water for that, he is going to slam it down instantly, about 3 minutes to drink it all. So the way that it works is that his red blood cells go from the flat, just boom, right back to oval, as fast as he can swallow it down. And then his fat cells, did I say fat cells? His red blood cells go from flat to oval as fast as he can drink it. And then his fat cells go from what we would call normal to what he would call normal. But for a human to go from normal to super morbidly obese is months or years of unlimited access to ridiculous amounts of food. For a camel to go from what we would call normal to what he would call normal is about 40 seconds. On an individual cell basis, about 40 seconds. On a whole body basis, about 3 to 3.5 minutes. And he is completely back to normal, ready to turn around. When the servant goes to look for a bride, and he says, "Oh Lord, let it be a sign to me that the woman would offer to not water not only me but the camels as well." Before I had camels, I'm like, come on, she gives your animal a drink and that's a sign from God? I mean, let's talk about a burning bush or a voice from above or something, right? Now that I have camels and I say 50 or 30 gallons of water, you back up a few verses and see the 10 camels loaded with gifts, and you're like, wow, that's 300 to 500 gallons of water that some young girl volunteers dips up for some guy's camels. Okay, I get it. And not only that, but if you read a few verses further, it says, and the servant stands and watches while she does it. If I was a young lady, I'd be saying, hey fella, grab a bucket, let's go here, right? But so yeah, I mean, before that hits different when you realize how much water a camel can drink, right? So some other interesting things about a camel. Yeah, you can pet the camels while I talk about this. But I was going to do the kissing camel here in a minute. So the camel, they talked about his nose closing, but his nose not only closes, it's full of about a gazillion hairs that come all the way back to about the crook of his neck. As the camel exhales, all of these hairs catch all the water vapor that's in his breath, so that he is exhaling only dry air. As the camel inhales, all that same water vapor on all those millions of little hairs moisturizes his air on the way down to his lungs, so he doesn't suffer so much from the dryness of the desert air. Camel has 3 eyelids. He's not only got the big eyelashes that the video mentioned, but he's got 3 eyelids. They're all 3 voluntary muscles. His first eyelid closes to make his eye watertight. His second eyelid closes against the sand, but he can see through it. His third eyelid closes to close his eyes.